In terms of a shade, oh my god, now the inside of my makeup bag is a nice, pretty peachy pink shade. But this... Whoops. I feel like I'm getting hand cramp. It's so tiny. Hello, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing something which is a little bit different. I have done this video before many years ago, but today I thought it would be fun to do a full face of mini makeup and mini makeup products that are actually usable. I've seen on TikTok at the moment, you can get, I think it's just in the US, these kind of like toy makeup products that have got mini little makeup things inside them, but you can't actually use them. They're just like a little toy. And I saw that and was like, you know what? I did this trend years back of using actual miniature makeup, and so that is what I'm going to do today. I've got my little minis. You would be surprised how much I can fit into this tiny little makeup bag. Everything is just so cute, but the main reason I want to do this is because it's actually kind of practical. I am such an overpacker when it comes to makeup and going anywhere that if I can put together a makeup bag full of tiny little mini products, it will save me a lot of weight in my suitcase and a lot of space in my luggage. So if that sounds fun, let's do it. And today's video is again sponsored by Dermatica, who are one of my favorite people to work with. I've worked with them many times over the past few years because I actually use their stuff all the time. I do still have a discount code which I will put on the screen. It is SOPH50 and it gets you 50% off your first 3 months if anyone was looking to try Dermatica. And so here I have got my personalized formula, which is obviously different for everybody depending on your skin concerns. And then I have also recently, in the past kind of, I guess like 6-ish months, added their vitamin C onto my monthly kind of order. So when it arrives, they come together. This is a fresh one that I've cracked open this morning. This vitamin C is probably the best one that I've ever tried in terms of effectiveness, and I like to use this one in the mornings. The personalized formula is just for the evenings, but in case you are unaware, Dermatica is a personalized skincare subscription which is delivered to your house on a monthly basis, and you go over onto their website and you fill out their little consultation where you can put in your skin concerns. So they have a whole host of different things that they can help treat, like acne and scarring, pigmentation, fine lines, melasma, hyperpigmentation, rosacea as well, I think, and you add in pictures of your skin, obviously with no makeup on, and then their dermatology team goes and assesses those and puts together a little bottle of a personalized formula which is just for you and your skin. And the ingredients that they use are powerful active ingredients and things like retinoids that you can't just buy over the counter. So the way that I personally use this, I mean, it can differ from person to person depending on what's in your personalized formula. So at the moment I'm applying this maybe every other day instead of every day, or every kind of third day, just because my formula has slightly changed recently. And you want to apply this only at night time. You just take one pump, smooth it all over your face, avoiding your kind of sensitive areas, so don't get too close sort of around your eyes, around your nose and around your lips. You can just use this by itself, or you can use it with a very basic moisturizer. Very easy, not complicated. Just make sure that you are using an SPF during the daytime, because obviously with the active ingredients in this, you want to make sure that you're protecting your skin, which you should be doing anyway. It works really well for me. I've said before, my skin is not perfect. I do still get hormonal breakouts, which I have a little bit going on at the moment, but using this really helps to reduce the scarring, and I think just the overall appearance. I mean, obviously I've just put this on, so it's a little bit more shiny and I've got my big lights here. But yeah, I've been asked multiple times if I've had Botox, which I have not. Just good ingredients. And if anybody is interested, I will leave a link down below. Thank you, Dermatica, for working with me again and keeping my skin looking very nice, if I do say so myself. Basically, hello, I'm filming the next part of this video on a different day. On the day that I was filming this, James ended up getting really ill with what we thought was food poisoning, but now I think it might be some kind of bug. So I'm now filming the makeup part a couple of days later, but I had to wash my hair because it was like, you know, when it's slicked back, I couldn't leave it like that for a couple of days. So I'd posted a TikTok using this tiny little makeup bag and showing you what I can fit in this. And I asked in that whether you guys would like to see a full face of mini makeup, and a lot of people said yes. So in this tiny little makeup bag, I have a few little things, but then I also have a whole massive makeup bag, which is just full of miniature products. And I'm gonna put everything into this little makeup bag, which was just part of like a Too Faced gift, but because it's like a smaller makeup bag, I'm gonna try and like build a little mini kit as I go along. By the way, some of these things are available like for individual purchase. Some of them are from little sets and some of them are from advent calendars. Actually, I think this little Bare Minerals primer was a sample. So this is the miniature size Bare Minerals Prime Time Primer. Very handy for traveling. It's 7ml. I used that one in my TikTok, but also Elf, at some point, they made a little trio of the miniature Poreless Putty Primer, which is so tiny. I think I'm actually going to use both. This one is the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist Illuminating Primer, which I think when I first ever ordered off of Rare Beauty, I'm pretty sure there was like spend over a certain amount and you got this free. But I think you can actually buy this one from the website. So this is like a glowy primer. Let's just pop that in there. Sometimes I am a bit extra and I like to have 2 primers with me because I don't know how my skin's going to be on a certain day. So that is a really nice glowy one. one. I'm then gonna take the e.l.f. and just put some of this in my T-zone. They do also make these in like the glowy version, and there was another version as well. Wasn't there like a matte version? This is just the original version. To be honest, I'd never really noticed much difference between all the different versions. I don't even know if they do all the different versions anymore. So we are double primed. To be honest, if I was traveling, I'd probably just go for like a plasticky kind of skin tint. It doesn't weigh much anyway. But in terms of mini foundations, I have got the Arborian CC cream. I've got the shade Claire, and then I also have the miniature version of the Kevin Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer Foundation, which I've got in the shade SX07. This is 10 grams of product, and I bought this at a time when I was doing the Kim Kardashian makeup video, and I didn't want to spend money on the full thing in case I didn't like it, so I got the little mini. This stuff is really full coverage, so you don't need much of it anyway. In terms of a shade, oh my god. Oh wait, is this one of those? Please tell me this is one of those ones that as you rub it in, it changes color. Okay. Okay, phew. Oh my god, I really thought for a sec that was the shade. Because this is just like a CC cream. I have a feeling I'm gonna want a bit more coverage than this. Let's see. Blend it in with my fingers. I don't know how I feel about it at the moment. I mean, it seems to be blending into my skin to be pretty much the perfect shade. However, that's now not going to match my neck, is it? But I think I'm going to move on to the Kevin Aucoin foundation just to add a bit of extra coverage. And I saw this in Boots, which it didn't look like this when I bought it. It was in a box. It's one of their Christmas gift sets, and it is a Real Techniques travel size brush set. It's like a normal size brush head, but just a shorter handle. And it came in this little pouch, which is very handy. So like this, for example, is the Mini Expert Face Brush, which is one of my favorite brushes anyway. So let's dip into the little mini Kevin Aucoin. Oh my god, it is so thick. Okay, I don't I don't know about this colour match, guys. Let's just give this a try. And I know that a fair few brands do sell mini concealers. Somebody told me that Benefit make a mini size of their cakeless concealer, I think it is. But I went to a couple of Boots stores and I couldn't find it. Space NK also sell a miniature Kosas concealer, but it was out of stock in my particular shade. This is definitely taking me longer than it normally does to blend in my foundation. Also, this brush definitely feels different to the normal one. Then for my concealer, I've got the tiniest It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye in the world. Again, I think that this was a sample that came in one of those like cardboard sleeves for something. I could not tell you what. I can't remember when I got this. I have actually had this for years, and maybe I shouldn't be using it on my face because I've had it for a while, but I've got the shade Light in this, and I actually forgot how full coverage this was. So I know this really doesn't look like it's going to be much at all, but just wait till I blend it out. And then I do have some tiny beauty blenders. These are from Clomana. This is one of the Christmas ones, but you can buy the mini pink ones that are exactly the same, just a different colour. So this is it damp and this is it dry. I just wanted to show you the size difference. If I'm travelling, realistically, I'm bringing my big sponge, but just for this video, I wanted to use the little mini one because I don't use it super often. But can you see from those tiny dots of concealer how much coverage that has given me? Like, it's a very thick concealer, so you just need the tiniest amount, which, yeah, great for traveling. Oh my god, this is so much lighter than the rest of me though. I fear it will take me years to blend in with that tiny sponge. Let's try and get it done this way. This is not the right shade to spot conceal. We're making it work. We're making it work. I would say though, if you're on the lookout for mini products, now is probably the best time to try and look for them in like Christmas gift sets or Christmas advent calendars. Even today, like actually I did buy another one today, which I'll show you in a sec. So they had a couple of these. This is from Revolution, and it's the Mini Matte Heroes. They had another one which was like a mini blush and a mini lip gloss. This comes with a mini matte fix spray and a mini version of their translucent powder, which actually this isn't that small, but compared to the original, it's definitely a lot smaller. So when it comes to mini cream bronzers, this was the one thing that I feel like is lacking in the market. Rare Beauty needs to get on that and do some kind of mini bronzers because they have their little mini blushes, which are so cute and so handy, and I take these everywhere with me when traveling. The ones that I already had, which I would class as mini, are this Iconic London, and this is actually a 2-in-1, so very handy. It's the Precision Duo Contour Pot. So in the top layer, you get a powder bronzer, which I would definitely class that as a little mini one. And in the bottom layer, if I can open it with my slippery hands, the bottom layer, you get a cream bronzer. So I'm going to use this today. I would also suggest either a concealer in a darker shade. This one is from the Beauty Crop and it's the shade 15N, or something like this, which is super, again, handy for traveling with, which I have recently. Sorry, mine is covered in, I don't even know what foundation concealer. This is from 17 and it is the Bronze Drops. But I'm going to go with the Iconic London one just because I like how it's a little 2-in-1. So I'm obviously taking the cream first, which is definitely more like a cooler toned contour, as you can hopefully see. but the bronzer part is a little bit warmer. And they do this in multiple shades. This shade is actually maybe a bit light for me because it's not really showing up that much. And then I'm gonna take another one of these this is the Real Techniques mini medium shadow brush, but I'm gonna use it on my nose. But this is a nice nose contour shade because it's not too dark, so it just looks very, very natural, which a lot of the time I won't go for natural on my nose contour. But yeah, if anybody knows of any other mini cream bronzer products, let me know, because I love a cream bronzer, but some of them are a little bit chunky, and if I'm trying to build a mini makeup kit, that's not going to be much help. I will come back to the powder bronzer, obviously. For cream, blush and highlight, Rare Beauty are giving us the goods, and this one, Enjoy, was the first product that I think I ever bought from Rare Beauty, and it is still going from what, like 2023, 2022? Whenever Rare Beauty launched, although recently this has started leaking, which I don't know, I guess it's just got a bit messy in there, so I'm gonna try and fix that actually, because there's a lot of product like round the edges of this, which let me try and use some of that today. These are so cute and they are so handy for traveling, and you just need a couple of dots because it is so pigmented. Let me just try and take some of the product off of the sides of this. I don't know how this has happened, but it's just a mess. Has anyone else done this? My Too Faced concealer does this all the time too, and I'm like, how have I managed that? Is it taking it on the plane? Has it like exploded on the plane and it's all gone everywhere? Don't know. Now the inside of my makeup bag is a nice pretty peachy pink shade. But yeah, like I said, this is the shade Joy, and as you can see, you need a very small amount and a little bit travels a long way. So they are the perfect travel friendly blushes. That pretty much comes everywhere with me. So if they could just make like a contour bronzer equivalent, that would be amazing. I've also got the shade Virtue, which I used for the first time like yesterday. This is such a nice shade. Like compared to Joy, it's just like a more toned down kind of peach color. Reminds me of that like Toasted Teddy shade from Rhode, is it? You know what? Let's also put on a dot of that. This could, I think, double up as kind of like almost a bronzy blush because it's quite a warm colour. But yeah, they're so great. And they also do the highlighters as well. So I've got the Transcend highlighter, which again, I think I got right at the beginning when Rare Beauty launched. It's gonna be Joy. And then, oh my God, I'm not really a liquid highlight user unless I'm mixing it with my blush. But this, how cute. It's so small and diddy that I just want to use it in this video. This I got in an advent calendar last year. I think it was the fragrance, what was it called? The fragrance store, the fragrance shop. I'm sure it was in one of the fragrance advent calendars, which is kind of random because this is not a fragrance, but so I'm just gonna put a couple little dots, just put that over the top, kind of mix it in with the blush to almost like tone down the blush a bit, I guess. And then in terms of powder, I was so excited by this because I've had this for a while. I'm glad that I discovered this while I was not on holiday or out and about, because this I thought was the miniature Laura Mercier translucent powder, the regular one, right? I opened this up the other day and gave it a swatch, and it's literally a golden highlighter, which I think I've now realized was like a Laura Mercier light catcher kind of powder. You would not want to use that as powder. You could only use that as highlight. You would look insane if you use this to set your under eyes. It's just not gonna work. But I also have this miniature by Terry powder, oh my gosh, which is the hyaluronic acid pressed powder. I've never actually tried this before, so I'm gonna give that a go today. How cute is this? And it does come with the tiniest, you could never use that. Come on, it's like the flimsiest little thing ever. The tiniest kind of little powder puff, and there's even a little mirror in there. And this came in a By Terry gift set. For the main bulk of my face, I'm going to use the Revolution translucent setting powder, just because I feel like this is more heavy duty. So I'll tip a little bit into the tiny little lid. Wait, this is not gonna work. There's no way I'm getting my powder puff in there. That's the only problem. And then to set my under eyes, I'm going to use a tiny little Huda Beauty powder puff. I did get these in a Huda Beauty PR package, but I think you can buy these and they come in 2 different sizes and shapes. How cute. First, let me just blend the edges of that crazy looking blush. Oh my God, I can only get the tiniest bit on it. I found a flaw. Set the under eyes with that Revolution powder. You know what? I think if you were actually going to use this, you would have to tip it out onto something else other than this lid, because the amount of product that you can fit in that, it's just not going to happen, is it? I'm going to try the By Terry powder on the other side. Generally, I prefer loose powders under my eyes, but I may as well try it, right? I have got no idea if this is going to remain like crease free, because it feels like quite a lightweight powder. Wow, that does look very nice and smooth. Add some of that on this side as well. One thing I am noticing is that everything's taking like twice as long. A brush to do the rest of my face. Oh, is that gonna be enough? No, how did I just used to use a brush? I need to pack some powder in there. I am so sorry, I'm gonna cheat because this is taking me all day. My face is still feeling a bit sticky, I won't lie. So that is that for the mini powder. I guess if I had to pick one, I'd probably take this one with me, even though it does take up a bit of Takes up a bit of space in there. Then for mini bronzers, I have got this, which again, this came in, I think it was the Space NK or the Cult Beauty Advent Calendar last year. Sorry about the dog. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Bronze and Glow palette. But then of course I also have the iconic London one. So let's use a bit of this. We'll do a bit of both. So let's just do that. Add some warmth back into my face. Okay, I think I might have to use the other one because this one is very light. If you've got very fair skin, this iconic London stuff would be perfect for you. But I'm gonna switch over to the Natasha Denona just because this one I think is a little bit darker and shows up a bit more. I'm gonna use whatever this brush is. Oh, that's that little kitten paw concealer brush. Oh, I wish I tried that for the concealer now because that is supposed to be really good for under your eyes. I didn't even know this was in here. But I'm gonna use it to do my nose. Oh my gosh, that was a solid line. Whoops. Now I'm also gonna have to do a solid line on the other side and try and blend this out. Oh my god, what have I done? Okay, don't use that for nose contour. Okay, it still looks a bit insane, but slightly better. So for my mini blushes, I have this one from Bourjois, which is the Jasper Rose shade of their blusher, which I would argue is a miniature blush. Then I also have a miniature of the Bare Minerals Gen Nude blush in the shade Pink Me Up. I think this came in an advent calendar a couple years ago. And then I also have the Tarte Ornate Amazon Clay blush, which this I take everywhere because it's small, it's thin, it's lightweight. So let's go for a bit of this one today. It's also very pigmented and you don't need much of it, so I'm gonna go for this one today. Oh my god, it's really sticking to my cheeks because they're still feeling a bit sticky. Okay, so that one's going into the travel kit. Kind of want to use a bit of the Bourjois one just because it's got a bit of shimmer in there. Do you see? Yeah, the Bourjois one is nice and glowy. It's a really nice blush. Oh wait, my cheeks are kind of glowy anyway. And then for highlighters, I still own one of the Becca highlighters in Moonstone. And again, obviously this is one of the little minis. I have taken this with me on every holiday I have been on since this launched ages ago. And this came in a travel set. I don't even think Becca exists anymore, which is kind of sad. Wait, or did somebody buy them out? I have like stabbed into it with something. It's a really nice highlighter. It does have a little mirror and it's very handy for traveling. So if you ever see one of these in TK Maxx, which sometimes Becca stuff does pop up in there, I would recommend. For eyebrows, I would argue that this is mini, but it's not technically mini, but the Glossier Boy Brow is such a small brow gel. So I'm just gonna go with this because Benefit do sell a mini brow gel and I do have it, but it's not very mini. Like it's not even that small. Because the packaging of the Benefit brow gel is kind of wild. Like it's very chunky. Oh my god, yeah, look, my face is already starting to go glowy. That By Terry powder clearly is not for oily skin. And then I was trying to find a miniature brow pencil. There's not a lot of them out there that are actually that small. I ended up getting the Benefit one just because I know that I like the Benefit brow products. I got the shade 3 and it's basically the exact same as their regular size brow pencil, but just without the spoolie on the end. Either way, I guess handy to have. But brow pencils generally don't take up much space unless you've got like a really short makeup bag, I guess. I've always got a full-size brow pencil in my handbag anyway. So mini one wasn't really necessary, but because this video is, you know, full face of minis, I thought I better get one. But this is the only thing I had to buy. I did actually have everything else. I just kind of like collected them all together. That'll do for the eyebrows. In terms of eyeshadows, oh, I forgot to say for the blushes as well, I don't actually think this is available anymore, but I always have this in my handbag, as you can probably tell by the absolute state of it. This was from the NYX Barbie collection and it is the mini cheek palette. This came with a highlighter and 2 blush shades, and this again is so handy for traveling with because it's so light and thin and small. Same with the mini NYX Barbie eyeshadow palettes, which came with little mini lip glosses clipped onto them, which I did actually detach because I put one of the little mini glosses into my mini makeup bag. But like, look at how tiny this little lip gloss is, and you could even take that off and use it as like a phone charm. How cool. These little eyeshadow palettes again are so handy for traveling with because they're tiny. But I don't think you can buy them. I think they were limited edition. NYX, if you're watching, you should bring these back because they're so handy. I've used this in videos loads. It's one of the e.l.f. bite-size eyeshadow palettes. I think they're like £4. They get 4 shades. But then this I am desperate to use because this has been in my collection for a good few years now. It is the NARS Mini Wanted palette. I don't think you can buy this from their website anymore because it was part of like a limited release. But I have seen a fair few of these new that are selling on eBay at the moment if anyone is interested. There's a little mirror in here and then you just get, I was going to say 4. Hello, can you count? 6 eyeshadow shades. I guess we'll see how this goes. And for this, I'm using the little mini. How flippin' cute are these? Real Techniques brushes. So I'm going to take the darker matte brown. Oh my god, it's so difficult to do your eyeshadow gently when you're holding the brush this close. Okay, that shade is really nice and pigmented. But yeah, in terms of mini eyeshadows, I feel like you could easily just bring sort of single eyeshadows with you even. Eyeshadow is not something that's particularly difficult to travel with, you know, because there's quite a lot of minis on the market. Oh yeah, I did also have this crayon. I've got this by Terry Ombre Black Star crayon, which is in the shade Bronze Moon. You know what? I'm going to use that as my eyeliner in a minute. Might even put some shimmer in there. This palette's definitely giving me like autumnal kind of vibes with the shades. I probably should have gone in with the shimmer first, but honestly I wasn't really thinking about where I was going to go with this look. Like most of the times when I start my makeup, I'm just like, oh, I'll wing it. God, yeah, it's so much harder to do your eyeshadow with a small brush. I feel like I'm getting hand cramp. Then let's take the other. Ow, I actually am getting hand cramp. I'm gonna take this duochrome golden burgundy kind of shade. Oh shh, I've just taken a chunk out of it with the brush. Oops, sorry. And then let's put this. Oh, that is beautiful. You know what? I'm just gonna use my finger. Oh my god, wow, that is such a pretty color. I'm just putting this all over my eyelid because I like how autumnal it looks. That is such a gorgeous shade. That is such a pretty like wash of shimmery, kind of like a burgundy gold colour. And then on my lower lash line, this could be a bit of a risk, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try this by Terry crayon. Oh, it's actually more cool toned than I thought it would be, but that's fine. I'm going to go over it with another eyeshadow. I'm also going to use it in my waterline. Maybe I should have started with that. Okay, so then let's take the brush that I used with that other shade on my lower lash line to smudge this out. And then I'm going to use that same shade and just go over the top of it. So I'm kind of using that as the base for this other pretty colour. Okay, that's kind of worked. And then I'm also going to use this on my lash line. Use the tiny, tiny, tiny little angled brush to try and wing this out a bit and do a slightly more subtle, smoky sort of wing. Okay, it's kind of working. I used to hear so much about these by Terry Ombre Black Star. I don't know why that's what they're called, but they used to be so popular back in the days of like early YouTube. That's kind of handy to have actually. But then maybe I go over that with, do I also go over that with the eyeshadow? I'm gonna try this burgundy shade, like the other burgundy color, and go over it with that to do like a burgundy. Ooh, that kind of works. To do like a burgundy wing. Is that a weird idea? I mean, maybe a kind of weird idea, but I think that looks quite cool. Wow, this shade is so pigmented. I was just trying to do something a bit different from my usual, but I don't quite know how that's gone down. Let's finish with a little bit more of that goldeny kind of colour over the top. I'm going to take this really bright shimmer on my inner corners. Oh, that is a gorgeous colour. Oh, let's also put a bit of that just on the very centre of my lid. I am literally just experimenting and playing with different shades today, but that was kind of fun. I do also have a fresh KVD tattoo liner as well, which I have not opened yet, and I kind of forgot that this was actually in there, if I'm honest. But if I'm going to be getting a mini of any eyeliner, it's going to be this one, so that can also go in my little kit. By the way, in terms of primers, I forgot to say, NYX brought out miniature versions of the Marshmallow Primer and the Plump Right Back Primer, so maybe if I was going away, I would probably take this one with me, because I love this primer anyway. So for mascaras, Rare Beauty does a miniature size, which again, I think this was maybe the first one that I bought. Did I get like the mini set with the blush and mascara maybe? However, it's not that tiny. Like compared to the Ciate Wonderland mascara, this one's a little bit thinner but a little bit longer. And then I also have, probably the smallest one that I have is the IT Cosmetics Superhero mascara. If it hasn't dried up since the last time I used it, which there's quite a high probability of that, I'm not gonna lie. But I did also see in Boots today that Benefit do little minis of like most of their mascaras. But yeah, I love how it's just a mini tube but a full-size brush. Very, very handy. Oh my god, count the number of times I said handy. God, this kind of reminds me of how I used to do my makeup, just minus the waterline. Okay, mascara done. Then for my lips, I've got a few different things. I could not tell you where this lip pencil appeared from. I just had it in my collection and I don't know when or where or how I got this. It's the Kevyn Aucoin Flesh Tone Lip Pencil in medium, but it's like half a lip pencil. It came like this, tiny. It's not been sharpened before. Again, a lip pencil is not something that takes up much space at all anyway, but just in case you had a particularly small makeup bag, I guess a mini lip pencil is a good idea. And then in terms of lipsticks, it's the same kind of scenario where if anybody might know where I have accumulated 3 mini lipsticks, I've got a Lancome one, I've got a Illamasqua anti-matter lipstick in the shade Bang, again, tiny. I think it must have been an advent calendar. Doesn't smell of anything. It smells like wax. And then I've also got a Laura Mercier mini lipstick in the shade 460, which is like a mini little red lipstick. The Illamasqua one is probably the tiniest, so I guess if I wanted a red lip, that can go in my little kit. But I don't want a red lip because I think a red lip with this eye would be a lot. I'm gonna go for this nude shade, which is the Illamasqua Bang lipstick. That's a nice colour. That actually goes with the eyes perfectly, I would argue. This is the actual size of the Mini NYX Butter Glosses. But then obviously, I've got this tiny little one that is attached to the Barbie palette. I want to use this one because it's the tiniest in the world. This says it's the shade Tiramisu. I don't believe that because this is too pink. Tiramisu is like the brown one. Why is this pink? I'm confused. Anyway, look at the size of this applicator. It's so tiny. Yeah, look, that is not tiramisu. Oh, they smell so nice. They feel so nice. And then I guess the final step, my face looks so shiny right now. Like, what is going on here? Most brands make a small travel size setting spray. The smallest one that I've got is the MAC Fix Plus Stay Over setting spray, which I do love this stuff. And it's very handy to have this bottle because then I can just refill it. Like if I'm just going away for a weekend or something, or a week, this will probably be enough to last me. So I bought this, which is the miniature NYX Plump Finish setting spray, which I also really like. And it's also a travel size, but the MAC one is definitely smaller. So we'll go with the MAC. Just do that first. And then that can go into... Oh, this is why I don't do my setting spray after mascara. And I've got a little dot of mascara that's transferred there. Way too glowy for my liking right now. And then this is my mini makeup kit that has everything I could possibly need in it. And extras, probably. Like, I put doubles of some stuff in this and my whole face of makeup has fit into this. Normally, when I'm traveling, I take with me this or like this big thing, which is really heavy. This would probably even fit in my daily handbag, so there you go. This is the finished look. I think it looks pretty nice. Those eyeshadows are really pretty, just like very shimmery, warm tones, autumnal. I'm happy with how this looks. I hope this was interesting. I hope it was helpful. If you have any other brands that do minis, like I said, look at the Christmas gift sets because I've seen a fair few and I don't know what it is, but like just something about a little Diddy mini makeup product. I find them so cute. There you go, that is me done. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. That would really help me out, and subscribe because I do make videos still on YouTube. I'm still here. I know that a lot of people have gone from YouTube and they've moved over to other apps, but I am still going with YouTube. I still love YouTube. Like I'm on YouTube every day, watching it, consuming it. And yeah, I hope you guys are good. I will see you in my next video. Bye.